Well, I think we're live here. We'll give it a few minutes. Hey, Celtic Grandma, Joseph Lopez. Hello, hello. How are y'all? Y'all give me a 5 of 5. I know you can't see me, but can you hear me? All that jazz. 007 coins. Hello, hello. Good to see you as well. All right, I'm going to hit this camera thing right here and flip it around and show y'all what I got here. This is my little setup right now, my little patriotic setup right here. Hope everyone's having a outstanding Independence Day. We'll have none of that 4th of July crap. We're not celebrating the 4th day of July. We're celebrating our independence. And I've got the phone turned around, so I can't see your comments right now. But, our Independence Day. The Puritans, most people call them the Pilgrims, but the Puritans came across. They did not like being told to worship at the official Church of England worship service or whatever. So they came over here to establish a new life for themselves, worship the way they want to, not instead of being the way they were told. And that marked our country's beginnings. And a little bit about me. You'll see some Confederate stuff here. This is my Confederate veteran, my ancestor, William Thomas Bill Bailey. He fought in the Georgia Army, 16th Infantry Regiment, and mustered out as a private. And he lived and fought for the state of Georgia. I can see that. So, yeah, today is not about a day in July. Today, yes, we got some firearms on the display here. YouTube's not gonna like it. Do I care? Not really. So we'll have to whiz the camera back around so I can see your comments here. And you don't want to see my ugly face, so we'll do this. Thank you to my great mod, Celtic Grandma. She's here doing a good job. Good sound. Okay, thank you, everybody. That's good. Awesome. Blistering Barnacles. Good afternoon here. Evening for you. I'm taking it. So awesome. Good to see you in here. Appreciate you. Enjoy your channel, sir. I've been wanting to tell you that. I do. So good to see you, buddy. What's up, Emerald Coast Stacker? Good to see you as well. So yeah, Independence Day. It's a very important day in our nation's history. The colonists were over here doing their thing. They were doing just fine. Didn't need some king from on the other side of the planet coming over here pushing people around and taxing stuff that just didn't make no sense. And we shot them. And that's how it goes. No disrespect to anybody from across the pond over here, y'all. But that's how it went. We shot them. So that's how our country was established. Firearms and freedom. Let's do this again. So yeah, firearms and freedom, individual liberties, that type of thing. Awesome. And I don't have a lot of patriotic type coins, but I got a few things sitting out here. I've got a thing that Kansas Kid gave me, the little patriotic challenge coin there. And this, if anybody might recognize it, that's a military patch there that was turned into a kind of a Christian patch as well. But yeah, So, how is everybody doing today? Uh, I would rather show the stuff and not my face, but the way StreamYard is rigged, it doesn't want me to do that. Let me see. I might have a guest star here. Let's see. I think we got a guest star. I'm going to take the camera out of the tripod. Come out there. Let's just do that anyway. Let's, can we add to the stream? Add to the stream. Add to stage. No, I want to add to stream. Well, let me try it again here. Add the stage. See what that does. That add him in? I'm not sure if it
got
did.
me.
All right, awesome,
How
man.
you doing?
Good to have you. Good to have you on.
Hey.
StreamYard changes words on their buttons sometimes. It drives me rather nuts. So I'm used to saying it. I'm used to it saying add to stream, not add to stage. But what's up, Zoltan? Good to see you. Good to see everybody in the house today.
Everybody doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm staying inside.
I tell you what, it's nice and hot.
It's 1,000 degrees outside. It's what it feels like.
It is. It's rough. We're getting ready for our 4th of July. We got a lot of folks coming over from church and stuff. And I tell you what, it's hot outside. So
yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. It is. It is what it is, man. It's awful.
It's part of Alabama, right?
That's it. That's it, man. It's Alabama, hot, humid. That's the way it goes. But so yeah, awesome, man. Appreciate you taking the time out of your holiday to come over here and hang out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And on your screen there, you may see something. I can't remember if it says chat or if it says comments. But if you want to see what everybody's saying in the chat, hit comments.
Okay.
It says comments on my end, so I'm saying probably says comments on your end.
All right, good. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, awesome. So I know you're new to this. I do one of these every week on my preparedness channel, my preparedness/BS channel. We don't do a lot of preparing. You know, we're not one of those, you know, we're all gonna die kind of things. But yeah, we talk about preparedness, and it's important if you're, you know, if you know what you know, what I know anyway. So, hey, KP Heaton, good to see you. That's one of my prepper people right there. Okay. KP Heaton in the house. Awesome.
Louisiana's hot too, I'm sure.
Oh, it's probably worse. Yeah, I would imagine, because they're a little lower than we are, if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a bit north of you, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in Huntsville. I'm in St. Clair County, which is I don't know, an hour below you probably.
Right.
And so and we got Homestead Aquarius. He lives in Aniana, I believe, which is in Blount County. Yeah. I don't know why it's spelled Blount County. That makes no sense. But I always called it Blount County. That's how I was raised. So
Blount County for me as well. But I didn't realize they were even in Alabama. So that's interesting.
Yeah, Homestead Aquarius. He's always in and out. You'll see me call him neighbor in the chat all the time. He'll pop in. I'll say, "Hey, neighbor." So yeah, and he's kind of a preparedness channel as well. So yeah, good to see everybody. Actual air. Yep. Gotta have some AC, man, if you're gonna survive in Alabama. I guess if the power went out, I'd have to take my shotgun with me to the creek and sit out there and shoot cottonmouths till they got okay with me sitting in the creek and staying cool. Because it would be awful to be without power right about now.
It would.
Likewise. All right. Everybody's talking and chatting in the chat. I like it.
So how many people's in the chat? That's one thing I can't see.
Let's see. We got 9 right now. We're not, blowing YouTube's doors off by any means. We got 9 in here currently. Yeah, that's something you only get on the driver's side here.
Okay.
That's what we call it, the driver's side.
Good deal. Emerald Coast Stacker, I see Zoltan, KP, Celtic. Looks like that's the ones that I see in the chat so far.
What's up, Vegas? Hey, buddy. How are you, man? Zoltan Stacker. Yeah, I tried to send you an email. I thought I sent it, sent it to the right address. Obviously, blind man here got it wrong probably. So, yeah, appreciate you sending me an email. Love to do a sticker trade with you, brother, and we'll get that knocked out. I struggle. My eyes are not the best, y'all all know this. But
So how's the dog?
the dog's good, man. He's awesome. They're both good. They're in here laid up in the AC, like spoiled little brats that they are, but they're fine. Rocky, my 10-year-old border collie, he broke his leg earlier this year, and I didn't know how it was going to go. They said it was broke in a good spot, which was, semi-good news, but he's 10 years old. You think about it, you don't want to put a lot of money in a 10-year-old dog, and, that's how I was trying to rationalize it anyway, but he's healed up and doing great, man. He's just, he's 10 years old. He's not snatching frisbees that's out of 7 feet of thin air anymore like he used to, run around with his hair fired. But he's doing just fine.
Good. So, do you have big plans for the 4th?
My big plans have already been done. My dad, he's a Vietnam vet, and his birthday was today. And 76 years old today. Love you, Dad. You'll never see this, but I'll say it anyway. Happy birthday, Dad. He is anti-technology, believe you me. So he'll probably never see this, but I'll tell him anyway.
Well, tell him happy birthday.
I certainly will. Appreciate that.
And most importantly, thanks for his service.
Yeah, well, that usually strikes a conversation that most people don't know what he was drafted. He didn't have a choice. He went and did what his thing was, and he'd probably do it again if he had to, but he didn't have a choice. He had to go. They drafted him, so he went and did his little part. I tried to get him to talk about it, and he really won't. All he'll tell me is he was an engineer and they built bridges. And I asked him, "Did you carry a rifle?" He said, "We were in enemy territory. What do you think?" I'm like, "Okay." Yeah. That answers the question. And other than that, he really won't speak on it a whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got family members that were in the same situation, and they don't like to talk about it either, and I don't push it, so.
Ripper, what are you doing, son? Can y'all see him?
We can.
Oh, awesome. Give you a little bird's eye view. I don't know. Rocky's laying over here on this side of the chair. Pardon my nasty floors, y'all. But there's my logout bag. Let me get back over here. Sit myself back down. Oh, mercy. Yeah, I just thought I would do a little hangout stream today. I haven't done a stream in a while, and the reason why I haven't is because the stupid Samsung phone, it gets where it just mashes buttons all by itself, and it kicked me out of my own stream a couple times, and I'm like, didn't want to go back and try it again, but maybe it straightened itself out a little bit. Do that.
So I haven't been able to look at your numbers today because I've been so busy, but where are you at on your 500?
487.
Man, yeah. You're almost there.
48. When we were 488, somebody dropped us, or YouTube, did their thing, one or the other. But yeah, we're getting close. I know you got some stuff coming in. I know that. Or you're waiting on, hopefully. So you'll probably have plenty of time. It'll probably get here.
Yeah. I've got something that I ordered that I was hoping would come in before your live stream. I guess you just gave it away that I'm going to be on your live stream. So, so this was kind of a test run for me today. So that's the reason why we're doing this today.
Sure.
But that being said, that you're 13 away. That's not very far. So
yeah, not very far.
We may be doing that pretty soon.
And friends of the channel, y'all in the chat, Joseph Lopez, good to see you. Y'all just keep sharing it out if you would. That would be most appreciative. We sure appreciate that. And Vegas, if you'd share that, that'd be awesome too, brother. Vegas, you can't really look at the numbers every day, man, because you'll get disheartened and all for no reason. On my prepper channel, I'm last time I looked, I was over 1,000 on my prepper channel. But it'll be 1,058 one day and 1,032 the next. You just don't know what to believe. It changes so rapidly. What's up, Little Lone Prepper? There's one of my prepper folks right there. Good to see you, Little Lone. Happy Independence Day to you. Good to see you in here. So, yeah, some of my prepper people are in here. Some of the stackers are in here. It's a good mix of folks.
Oh yeah,
Celtic doing a great job on the mod in there. Appreciate her sharing everybody's link.
Really,
Go ahead.
There's really a lot of similarities between stackers and preppers, anyway.
I'm telling you, there is, and I started watching Pirate before I ever had a channel. I was watching Pirate Stacker back in the back when he was doing it hot and heavy, and he's back now, which I'm glad because I missed him. But I don't know, something I love about Pirate. He does that and just cracks himself up. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. But I was watching him, and he's a prepper, and then I was watching Kansas Kid and somebody else, and they're all preppers, and I'm like, you know what? I've realized most stackers are preppers, and or vice versa.
Most people who stack are stacking because they're getting ready for things that they think are going to happen in the future. So,
Yes.
and that's the same thing with food, with learning how to grow your own food and all that as well. So,
Yes.
It's really a closely related community, really.
It's one has a lot to do with the other. And by the way, I do have a garden. My dad, I live on a farm here. We live on 180 acres here. All of my family, I own the 2 acres that my trailer's sitting on, but it's all attached to my dad's land because I bought my land from him, and my sister bought her land from him as well. So we're all, within, a 4-wheeler ride from each other's houses. And, we got our little community working that way. So we have a community garden, that we all work together. And then Dad's the farmer. He's the know-it-all. And, if I start a garden out here, he'll want to plant 40 acres or something. And I'm like, Dad, I can't work 40 acres of stuff out here in this heat. I can't do it. He can. Even at 76, the man, heat don't bother him, and it's the way they are, man. Older people, man. And I just can't breathe in this high humidity mess. And my back's been out for over a week now. My back has really been. I have muscle spasms in my back, and when it does its thing, I'm flat on my back for a week or two usually. So I've had that going on. But we got gardens. I've got my own little personal, I call it mini garden or micro garden. That's what I call my stuff, micro gardening. And most of what I'm trying to learn is start stuff from seeds.
Right.
Because in like a post HTF, you're going to be using seeds. And by the way, if you're stacking silver and gold, and you're stacking ammo and the 2A tools, stack you some seeds too, because that's going to be very important. Once these number 10 cans and stuff run out, what's your plan then? That's, you got to have something. So,
heritage seeds.
Yeah. You don't want the hybrid stuff. You want the heritage kind, or the kind that you just collect seeds off your plants and keep on going. What's up, Austrian Stacker? Happy Independence Day to you. Penny's in the house, one of my prepper folks there. Good to see you as well. Let me see if I missed anybody else here. 007 still in there. Awesome. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Haven't done a live in a while, and just, over here, that is. But happy Independence Day to everybody. And so anyway, go ahead.
So no, I'm just reading some of the comments. I was actually thinking before I come on, I needed to change my shirt because I've been working in this shirt, and I actually thought about putting the one that you commented on in my videos. Uh,
Ah,
I may save that one for the live stream for your
you can
500.
wear it, dude. I was just hounding you, man. I
Oh,
was
it's
just,
fine. It was
I
fine.
me and my crew, I got some friends that I grew up with. I've known since the fourth or fifth grade, and we're always cutting each other down, and it's all in fun,
It
and
is.
so that's kind of where I come from.
I
Uh,
mean, I loved it. I thought it was funny that you caught it. So to catch everybody up on what happened, about I guess a month or so ago, maybe a little over a month, went on vacation, and I needed to. I wanted to have some videos that I had with me in order to keep the algorithm up. So I went ahead and pre-recorded some mail openings and just some of those type videos before I left. Well, Asset, Southeast, he sent me a message and said, "Hey," he's like, "You must really love that shirt, or you have a whole bunch of them, because all of the videos had the same shirt." And he's the only one that picked up on that. So we've had an inside joke back and forth. So intentionally, I do not wear that shirt now when I do videos because I know you'll catch it.
yeah, I was having fun at your expense there. Hey, what's up, T-Bird 54 and John Camper? Good to see y'all in the chat as well. Yeah, yeah. As you know, a buddy of mine the other day, he went and bought him a real nice Benchmade uh, pocket knife, folding knife, and Benchmade have butterflies on the knives. They started out making butterfly knives. That was their first thing that they ever did. And I give him hell about having a butterfly on his pocket knife. He thought it was hilarious. And like, what you go and pay $400 for a damn butterfly on your knife? That's crazy. I was just letting him. And we always doing that to each other. It's all we have a good time.
So what are you stacking now? What's your target?
My target is just stay with generics as best I can. I do like the Kooks. I don't have any out because they're not American. But I love the Kookaburras. I love them. I wish I could own everyone, but it's never going to happen. It's a pipe dream. So I just try to stack, 5-ounce bars. I was trying to do a 10-ounce bar every month, and now I'm having to do a 5 every month because prices have gone up a little bit.
Right.
But it's what the budget allows. I have to do what the budget allows, and get close to my 100-ounce goal, which is a goal I have tried. See, I've started and stopped stacking 2 or 3 different times because I've had to go sell my stash and for something or whatever. So this is like my 4th try. And if it were not for the community, I would probably not be stacking right now. Thule sent me a 10-ounce bar. Death from Below sent me, I don't know, 10 or 11 ounces of stuff. And the whole community just came together and really helped me out. They reseeded my stack. And man, I was just floored by it. And they got
Right.
me going again. So I'm getting very close to that 100-ounce mark. And that's a big deal for me. I know most people have way more than that. But
No, that's
yeah.
great. So how far away are you? Are you able to say or want to say or?
I'll say I bought a 5-ounce bar yesterday. It's not here yet, but I'm within about 3 ounces probably
Well,
after
good.
that purchase yesterday.
That's great.
Yeah.
Talking about this community, it's got to be one of the most giving communities on YouTube as far as any type of
It's
social media. I'm telling
yes.
you, this community right here, they're not a selfish group.
No, they're not. And, it's amazing. It's truly amazing. The preparedness community, they're all good people, man. But I'm telling you, it's different over here.
It
It's
really
just
is.
swap the view there a little bit. yeah, I was floored by that. You still there?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm reading the comments. I agree with Vegas. Each stack is their own. Don't compare yours to others by no means.
Right, right, and that's exactly right. And that's I've stated that so a couple of times on my channel as well. But you watch people or unboxing stuff every day. It's hard not to get caught up in wishing you could do more, and it's hard for me because I'm seeing you know I'm not gonna throw any names out, but there's channels that are unboxing new stuff every day, or they went to their LCS and brought back new stuff every day. And I don't have an LCS. There's one in Aniana up there where Homestead Aquarius lives, and somewhere in that vicinity somewhere, if it's still open. But with me, I'm legally blind. I can't drive. And going to the grocery store is an act of Congress because I have to schedule rides and stuff. So me getting to a coin show or me getting to a coin shop is probably never going to happen. Never been in one, so I would love to do that one day.
Well, let me ask you this: there's some coin shows down in Birmingham, right?
I know they had one at the Gadsden Mall last Father's Day, or the Father's Day. I think they had one at the Gadsden Mall, which is in Etowah County, and I'm sure Birmingham has a couple. I'm sure they do.
So what we need to do is one day we need to look up and see when these coin shows are in our area, and then we can meet. I could pick you up and we could go.
Hey man, if you're, I'm down for that. If you are, but I know it's going to be out of your way and all that, and I'll pay you some gas money. That's no problem.
If it's, I mean, like I said, the Birmingham one, I would pass by your area anyway in order to get to Birmingham. Okay. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man, that sounds fantastic, dude. I love it.
So yeah, if we'll try to figure out, when they're going to be doing one in that area or anywhere in the middle to North Alabama would be great.
Right.
Even Georgia. I think they do some in Dalton. I think they've got a pretty big show in Dalton. They do like twice a year, from what I understood.
Yeah, they do a ham fest up there too. That's a whole different subject. But yeah, I'm a ham radio operator. The Dalton Ham Fest is a pretty big deal too. But yeah, man. We need to get on that. I'll try to get on that and research it. I know you're a busy fella, and I'll try to get on there and let you know if there's any coming up.
So I want to say, let me go back to this. A little like 007 Coins asked a question that somebody said was a good question. Did you see what it was?
Let me see. Austrian stack.
Who here has the oldest coin? Was the question.
Ooh, I don't know. I've got some pretty. I don't know about pretty early, but I've got like an 1887 Morgan and 1880 Morgan and 1940s Mercury Dimes and Walking Liberties. That's about probably the oldest I've got. So the Morgans.
So
what about you?
Austrian Stacker says they have a 17th century. They have coins from the 17th century. I don't know that I have. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Okay, so starting out, my grandfathers kind of got me into coin collecting when I was young. Of course, as a young child, you don't have the money to get anything special. So I never really had like a great collection of coins. And I kind of left coins alone until probably, I would say, so during the Obama years when everything was kind of chaotic and, you always heard the rumors that he was going to take away your guns and your ammo and all that. So that's when I really started kind of stacking a little bit, but wouldn't say stacking, I'd say prepping. Buying ammunition and buying stuff like that because I do like hunting. I don't get to do it very often, but I thought, well, if the prices are going to go up, I'll go ahead and try to have a little bit of a stash. Didn't buy a lot, but after that, I would say probably, it may have been towards the end of Obama's term. I somehow or another, I came across stacking some of the stackers, the early stackers in the YouTube community, like
Mhm.
the Silver Dragons and the Yankee Stackings. And
Yep.
um, I don't know that I may have been buying silver a little bit before that, but that's really when I started focusing on trying to accumulate silver.
Right.
Um, and it was slow. I mean, I didn't have, honestly, nickels at that time. Let me get to where I can see my screen. Nickels at that time were so cheap because nobody wanted them, and I understand why they don't, because they're 35% silver.
Sure.
But you could get these for under spot anywhere. I mean, at that particular point in time, they were so cheap,
Yeah,
and
you
I
could
thought,
probably get
well,
them close to melt, I would imagine.
yeah, I bought some that were under spot, even on eBay.
Yeah.
I would go to the auction section on eBay at the time, and I was picking these up for under spot. And then, you know, I'm the way my mind works is I do things a lot differently than a lot of people. I had to, especially starting out, when you're on a budget and it's tight. I could not afford high premium or any premium type
Same
silver.
here.
So what kind of clicked in my mind, and I've never seen nobody mention this ever on any YouTube channel. Um, Back probably maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little less. Um, I got to thinking about it. There's a couple of coin shops around here that you could have purchased stuff from locally. But again, it all had a premium. Uh, I called one day and wanted to know what I could sell some for. I wasn't interested in selling. I was really
Right.
trying to figure out what are they paying for it.
Hmm.
And so what I did is I looked at it from a business mindset. I thought, if I want to accumulate silver, then I need to accumulate as much as I can on the cheapest budget that I can. So I called the local coin shops to find out what they were paying for 90% silver. And uh, I put an ad in Craigslist. Um, just a simple ad. It was just a generic ad that had pictures of, it was a stock image of 90% silver. And I put an ad out that I buy silver, that I'm a private collector buying silver. And I tell you, I bought more silver off of that ad than I buy today, as far as not in volumes, but as far as the ability to buy more. Because you stop and think about it, the people who were looking to sell their silver, they could go to a local coin shop and they could sell off their silver, or I would buy it for the same price and they wouldn't have to worry about if it was a large amount. And I couldn't afford to buy a large. There were so many times that the people that would contact me um, had more than I could afford to buy, but I would buy what I could. And so that was how I really got started. And my stack I was buying at that point in time, like I said, this was years ago, and I was able to purchase silver under spot by doing it that way. Of course, I wasn't reselling it, but that was how I accumulated the most, I guess, the biggest part of the base of my stack.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
then as time went on, and I started, because I started focusing on how I spent my money, and it over time, I found areas that I could cut. I mean, just wasteful spending that I had in my, just our personal life, and I would put it towards silver, and then I would stop for a while. It would get to where, I don't know. I would kind of go by how I felt about things. You fast forward to the well, I don't know if you're allowed to say COVID, but it is the COVID era. When everything started shutting down, you couldn't even find toilet paper. Um, I kind
Oh
of
yeah, I
I
remember
kind
that.
of shifted. I kind of shifted a little bit. I quit spending what little extra I had, and I owned silver, and I had to focus on. I didn't want to be caught with not
Right.
having a supply for my
Right.
family of anything. So At this time, you wasn't supposed to go out in public much, but I had to because of my job, and I was considered an essential business, and so I would be the one that would go out, and of course my wife and them wouldn't. So I would shop. I do the grocery shopping, and I would go ahead and buy a few extra things, and we built a little food pantry in our basement, and nothing big, nothing major, but it kept us from when the stores were having problems with getting a supply of things. It kept us from running out. So that was kind of where I placed my focus in the 2020 timeframe, 2021, somewhere in that range. And then I started stacking silver again after probably the last couple of years. But this year, because anybody that does this, if they start posting content, I don't know if you've had a problem with this, but just that mindset of I need to make a video, it really causes you to buy more than what you normally would, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
because there's just that always that mindset of trying to give something to somebody in a new way. It's something that you haven't already shown them.
Right.
So, I have put more into it this year because of YouTube. And it's not because I wasn't wanting, like, I'm working on the 10th ounce gold. And it's not because I didn't want to do this to begin with, but I've made it I guess a greater priority because of the videos.
Right.
So, my journey into the stacking has just been a little bit different, but it's evolved and changed over time. So that's kind of where I'm at. But
Yeah.
again, I don't know. And it still works. Earlier this year, I did test it. I put another post back on Craigslist. And if you'll look at some of my earlier videos, I didn't say where I was getting it, but I did travel. I did mention in one of them, I traveled to Nashville.
Yeah.
I would put, because I'm in North Alabama, so I would post in about a 200-mile radius. So that would put me in Birmingham, Chattanooga, of course, Huntsville, but it also puts an ad that would go to the Nashville and Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay.
So it still works, guys. If you're looking to try to get the cheapest, the most that you can for your money, then put an ad out on Craigslist and just tell that you're buying silver. List the items that you're looking for, and you're not going to get all of them. The only thing that you have to worry about by doing that is it is a bit more dangerous, I guess, in the
Sure.
the world we live in today. But
Sure.
I would always meet people in a public area. Uh,
Yeah.
I have even, especially when I knew that they had an amount that was going to be, several $100s, then
Right.
I would meet them at a police department in Huntsville, and we would just go into the lobby, and I would
Right.
buy their silver, and they would take my cash, and we would walk out. So,
That's
um,
that's excellent. I
yeah,
would have never thought of that. That is, I would have never thought of that. Of course, uh, I mean, but I was wanting to tell my side. It kind of happened the same way with me on the prepping channel. Because if you've got stuff to open and unbox, you've got stuff to show on the video. So I started buying more and more preps for more and more preparedness content. And like you're talking about, you buy more because the videos, you have more stuff to show people. And so that happened to me on the prepper side as well. And I got my start as far as coins and silver. I was working, this was before I got my disability and whatever, and I was working retail in 2010, and I was finding buffalo nickels and engine head pennies in the drawer, and I throw a nickel out of my pocket in there and take the buffalo out, swap it out, and I started bringing home some older coins, and the older coins led me to silver coins, and the silver coins led me to bullion, and
right.
and I'm still kind of liking both. So that's how my journey started.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and then I'd start, stop, and I'd start, and I'd have to sell it all, and so I did that battle a couple times. But yeah, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And there's really no wrong way. There's so many different ways. When people leave a comment, some of them will agree with the way that I stack and some of them don't. But there's so many ways to do this. There's really no wrong way.
There is.
You've got to do what works for you and your family. And
Yeah.
of course, there's obvious, you don't want to put more into it. You don't want to have to sell what you bought
No,
today. You don't want to
and
sell it tomorrow.
that's a lesson I learned the hard way. I've got to stack more cash. That's a problem, man. I would rather buy silver than stack cash
Oh yeah,
because cash has a way of getting spent.
it does.
But yeah, I've learned that lesson. This last time when the four-wheeler, oh no, not when the four-wheeler broke down, but when the dog leg broke, I had the cash to pay all the vet bills right up front. And and I've got a lot of silver now, but I don't have a lot of cash, and I got to get back on that and start stacking some more cash again.
Right, right.
What's up, Silver Cigars? Yo, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
So yeah, that's so. I know you said that you had some gold at one point. Did you have to sell that off, or do you still have your gold pieces?
I still got it. I still got a PAMP 2.5 gram bar, and I still got a quarter ounce maple. Still got that.
Okay, all right. See, I don't even have any quarter ounces yet, so that's.
Yeah.
I'm trying to focus on the 10th ounce. That's what I started this year.
I bought the quarter ounce when it was 1,800 an ounce. So then that was a big purchase for me. That was half my paycheck just to get that thing. Yeah. So, but I probably don't know that I'll ever be able to buy another quarter ounce again if the prices keep going the way they are.
Yeah. Well, you could. Honestly, another thing that I thought about trying to do, because I mean, if you stop and you think about it, local coin shop, if you're buying from Craigslist, you can buy just like a dealer is able to buy.
Right.
You're buying. You're not going to be paying spot for stuff. I mean, I was getting, earlier this year, I was able to pick up 4 tubes of American Eagles. Okay.
I saw those videos. Yeah.
Okay. So this guy, he still had more, and honestly, he had more than I can afford to buy.
Right.
And he was willing to sell me more, and he actually contacted me and was wanting me to buy more. I slowed down because this was a big purchase for me. Yeah. But my point is, I paid spot for these.
You can't beat that.
When the day that I purchased these, spot price was $29. I think it's like close to like $29.20. I paid $29 a piece for all of these. I could have easily sold these for $34 to $35 a piece.
Yep, you could have flipped them.
I could have flipped them. So that's what I was going to say is if you built you up a little bit of a cash, just say $500, and then you went out and you purchased, just like a coin shop would do, and you went out and you purchased 90% silver or American Eagles or just whatever, and you wanted to flip that, you could actually take the profits off of your flips and buy your stack. And you could say if you wanted to stack gold but you can't afford gold, buy your silver, get yourself to your 100 ounce cushion that you want, okay? And then start flipping more. So buy and sell, buy low, sell high, and then take those profits and start stacking gold. Or if you wanted to change your 100 ounces into all, into American Eagles, or something like that, then you could just flip your 90% silver and buy yourself Eagles. But you could buy in a way that you really don't have any of your money in it because you're flipping it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's a great idea.
And anybody can do that. I mean, it takes effort. It's not like something, it's not difficult. to sell silver. You can sell this stuff all day long. And
People are,
the
people
the
are
further
after
we
the
go,
penny right now.
yeah.
People see the signs of the times. The dollar's about to tank, and people are looking for it right now.
Well, especially since it looks like we're coming off the petrodollar, and that is going to be something that people are paying attention to. That's never considered what we've been looking at, what we've been doing for years. There's so many more people that's coming into this market.
Yeah,
You're going to be able to flip this stuff very easily. I could still sell this today and make a profit on what I paid for it.
sure.
Um, but just in melt value alone, um, I it, so I chart. I'm just that kind of a guy. I chart everything. I can tell you everything that I've bought and how many ounces. It's all charted out, and
Yeah,
I know how much I paid for everything that I've got in my stack.
dollar
That being
cost average.
said, yes,
Yeah,
and that being said, I can tell you that um, my stack is even, and so I'll say this. Just to tell you how, and I don't say this to say anything other than this is how effective that doing what I started doing, how effective it was. I buy stuff today and give it away. Okay.
hmm
And I include that as a net loss in my stack, and my stack is still profitable today.
that's fantastic, man. That's
So,
awesome.
but that comes from years of stacking. It's not something that you just, I didn't just start this in 2024,
Right.
but over time you can accumulate quite a bit, and it's going to be better than having a savings account of any sort. And that's what I look at my stack as a form of savings. I don't really look at it as a business venture or
Mhm.
um it's for situations just like what you had. You have situations in life that you need
Yeah.
to sell. When I first started stacking, um, before I really started stacking, and I was just buying silver, um, I did it because of what you said. Cash is hard to hold. If you have cash sitting around, it is going to, something will come up that will cause you to need to spend that money.
Yeah.
But what I found for me, the easiest way to save cash was to take my cash and put it into silver. And that put that
Mhm.
extra step in between the dollar
Right.
and my spending. That put an extra step in that savings account because I would physically have to go sell this in order for me to go buy something that I didn't really need. But
Right. Right.
if I wanted something, you know what I mean? If there was something out there that I wanted, if I wanted, this knife, and I had the cash and I wanted it in that moment, I would buy the knife. But
Sure.
if I didn't have the cash and I had the silver, that extra step of converting this back into fiat kept me from buying stuff that was really just no sense in buying it to begin with.
That's exactly how it works with me, and that's why I would rather put my money in the silver than stack cash because I know if I stack cash, it's easily gone, and
It
it's
is.
a physical mine. It's a physical savings account, and I get to pull it out, and play with it, look at it, and whatever, and ooh no whatever. But
Oh yeah,
and that extra step, like you're talking about, man, it makes a huge difference for me as
it
far
does.
as saving money.
And it would for anybody. So anyone that has a hard time holding cash, if they would convert their cash and get rid of the fiat and go into silver or gold or that's what I would say they should go into because it's always going to be money.
Yes. Yeah, it's God's money. If that's the way I think about it. If
Yeah,
Jesus was betrayed for 30 pieces of silver, it was money back then. It'll be money in the future.
it's always been money. The Bible always mentioned if you go all the way back to the Garden of Eden, and it talks about the waters that flowed out of
Yeah.
the garden, and it mentioned that the gold was good. So gold has always been recognized since the beginning of time as a store of wealth. It'll always
Yes.
have value.
And it's important, and I get carried away with the silver crap. I do. I'm gonna be honest, but it's important to remember that my Jesus is my savior. I don't worship this dead gum silver mess or this gold
That's right.
stuff. And the Lord is my savior, and my faith is in Him. It's not in the silver. It is in the silver, as far as in this country or whatever. It's more. I have more faith in this than the dollar, absolutely. But it's important to keep it all in perspective, at least for me.
Well, absolutely. I was going to pull something out just to make a statement.
Yes, Vegas. Yes, silver is addictive. Absolutely.
So the thing is this right here, this is God's money. It's always
Yes.
been God's money. This is man-made.
Right.
And this will never last, and this will always be here.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's the same with the Zimbabwe notes and sometime in the future there's going to be people who keep these United States notes, that ain't worth nothing, because maybe they'll think it'll be worth something again one day, but the United States paper money will be the same way. It'll be worth nothing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, you just look at the decline of I'm just sitting here looking at this. When this at one point in time actually had value. It's a silver certificate. It had value. You could actually trade this in and you could get, see, you've got them too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This actually at one point had value because our government was smart enough to attach its value to God's money. But when they took that away, I mean, you look at a dollar today, and I remember back when some of the other channels that, some of the forefounders of the stacking community on YouTube. Okay. And I'm not throwing off on them, but I remember when they first started stacking or they first started posting videos, they were talking about this. They were talking about how important it was to not rely on this. And, of course, things change. I don't know how you are, and things are going to change eventually. But I don't know what we're going to turn to. I dread the digital dollar. I really do. I think it's inevitable at some point that our government is going to try to eliminate the paper money and go digital. If there's any way possible that they can, they're going to do it, and simply because of control.
Yeah, it's all about control. I talked to my friend the other day. He was asking me where I was buying ammo online, and I'm like, I don't, because they track all that stuff. If I buy ammo using my debit card or whatever, they're tracking all that stuff. And so I'll go to. We've got a great gun store here close by, so I'll just go up there and buy my ammo. And I'm not saying who this person was. We were having a conversation about it, and so yeah, I mean, we're already being tracked. Okay, everything we buy with a debit card is being tracked, and that's why I like to buy things with cash a lot of times. That is, if I have it. No, I don't always have it, but if I do, I'd rather pay with cash, especially for something like ammo. But yeah, it's if they get that CBDC, CDBC, whatever the hell it's called, if they get that in. You put gas in your car. Bad person. Bad. You didn't buy an electric vehicle. I'm sorry. You have no more money until, 90 days or whatever.
Yeah.
You were bad. You ate too much chocolate last month. Oh, I got to cut your money off. That's what it's going to be. People just don't realize it. They're going to sell it. Oh, it's convenient and it comes out right away, and it is convenient, but it's conveniently controlling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it won't be presented that way at the beginning. I'm not saying that I agree with you 100%. I don't think that necessarily at the beginning it's going to be that. It won't be marketed that way. But like if they, you really stop and think about it, they would love to eliminate the Americans' ability to have firearms. But what they can do, is they could limit it. So everything's got a category number when you buy it.
Right.
All they have to do is if you have a digital currency and they monitor your spending,
Yep.
if they if they see that you're buying ammunition in large volumes, they
Right.
can automatically lock your account down for suspicion. Um,
Right.
under the
Oh yeah.
guise
Then
that
the
you could
ATF will
be.
pay you a visit, or the
Oh,
FBI or
absolutely.
whatever. Oh
Right.
yeah.
So it's all about control. So which kind of goes back to, so that I had kind of forgotten when I first started stacking. So obviously the financial situation caused me to go to Craigslist. But the other reason why I purchased everything off Craigslist was because I would not buy anything online.
Right.
I did not want anybody knowing that I had one single dime that was silver.
Right.
It was just that mindset that I had of I don't trust the government. I don't trust, I'm not saying they would ever come for it, but if they wanted to, they know who has it.
Yeah.
Of course, like I said, YouTube, I never bought stuff offline until this year. Um, YouTube, when you start creating content, like I said, it really does change
Mm-hmm.
the way you do things. So even being a content creator, it has opened me up to, if they want to look, if they're actively decide they
Oh yeah.
want to know where the wealth is at in America and who's buying what.
Oh yeah.
I've opened that door for them to see that. So
Yep. Yep. Me too.
um, yeah, and I don't like that, but
Yeah.
it is part of the YouTube. But like someone said, I give it away. They don't know what I've done with it. It sank in the
Right.
bottom it's in the
Right.
bottom of the Tennessee River when I was out fishing. My boat sank.
Yeah. Sure.
They don't know, but it's just one of those things that I had to weigh it out. And for years, I wouldn't get on YouTube because of that type of thing. I did not want to leave a record that I even knew anything about any of it, because who knows what they'll do in the future.
Right. And when I first started my channel, and before, mail calls and stuff, I mean, I couldn't afford a PO box. It's just taking money away from my stocking, and these post office want, $80 a year or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. And so I didn't want to give my address up. Well, when I did my first mail call, I believe it was Mellow Stacks. That was the first time I gave my address out. I'm like, you know what? But I ain't had a single problem, and that is the reason why I do show firearms on my channel. So if somebody wants to come down here and start something, I got some stuff to finish it with.
Right.
So that's another reason why I willingly show firearms on my channel. Yeah, you come on down here.
Yep.
Yeah, you might be able to find where I live, but I'm telling you what, it's not going to go your way. I'm just telling you.
Right.
I believe in having the Minuteman necessities. If
Oh
the
yeah.
criminals have them, I should have them. And that's just the way I was raised. That's the way, I was raised on guns. Shot my first 22 when I was 6 or 7 years old. Little Rossi, 22 pump, and graduated from that to a 410. By the age 10, I was shooting a 20 gauge shotgun.
Yeah.
And, I was raised on guns. My mom is somebody who thinks a gun will get up and walk around and shoot people. She literally thinks that. And I know it's crazy, dude. And I told her it's crazy. But see, my dad raised me and my sister up on guns young. You take something and you hide it away and you lock it, put it behind lock and key. What happens? People are scared of it. They're scared of it because they don't have the knowledge. And all you got to do is just learn about it. I have carried a pistol with me every day on my body since Obama got elected.
Yeah.
And I ain't shot myself yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you can learn stuff.
Well, and the beauty of it is you live in a state where you can open carry.
Yes.
So you have easy access. And that's the thing about it is There's a lot of things I love about this country, and there's a lot of things I don't like about it. But there are some states that we could live in that are more free than others by far.
Oh yeah, California. Well, don't want to get me started on that.
No,
But
no.
yeah, and I was watching a video on a prepper channel the other day, and he was talking about if the power goes out. Let's say I usually have to go to Walmart once a month or whatever to the grocery store. What if that's the day when the world goes crap and the power goes out? Okay, the toilets won't flush. He just I never thought about it till he started talking about it. The doors won't flush. The doors won't open. I mean, the toilets won't flush. The doors won't open. People are going to be locked inside the store because there's no power. And I don't know if there's a battery backup on these doors or not. You think about everything that is touching electricity right now. If it happens and I'm at Walmart, we're screwed, dude. I mean,
well, so the beauty of that is the doors at the Walmarts. So even though they're sliding doors, the electric slides, they do kick out if the power goes out. So you can bump those doors open in an outward position.
Another reason for me to carry a firearm, I can shoot them out. but yeah, see, I didn't know that. So
well, they are glass, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right. And so yeah. But yeah, the fact that the electricity is connected to everything, and he just really, the name of his channel is Step One Survival, and I posted that video I think on my community tab, and he was talking about all the things if the power goes out, so many things are going to shut down. People ain't gonna have their breathing apparatus and stuff. People are gonna die just because the power goes out. Nothing else.
Yeah, that and that but there will be some issues there, no doubt. There's a lot of people that need electricity at their homes for medical devices and things that they won't have access to at some point.
Yep.
So as far as prepping and being prepared and things like that, having some type of a backup for your power supply would be something that would be important.
I have a solar generator. It ain't one of the bigger, better ones, but I do have one. I do have solar panels, and I've got several of these charging banks with the solar panel on it, and so I've got some ways to charge some stuff if I have to. But yeah, right. I need to get a bigger, better one and some more solar panels. That's something I've been meaning to do.
So I think if I was ever able, what I would like to do, where I live out in the country, so I don't live in the city. We don't have natural gas; we have propane. But I would like to get, which I do have a large propane tank. But what I would like to get is a whole house generator that runs off propane that would kick on. But now again, that would only last you for a couple of days. Depending on how much you power everything in your house, but
right. I have a 250-gallon tank outside my home right now, and it's been there for I use it to heat my home instead of using the electric furnace or whatever, which is ungodly power bills. And this is an older trailer that I live in, so it's I don't know 1990s whatever, so it's not very efficient. And so I prefer to just use one propane heater to heat my whole home with. And the thing about the motor type generators is if the power's out everywhere, it's going to be real quiet. And them generators, I know the whole home ones are pretty quiet. I know that. But it still might draw some unwanted attention to it. Hey, that dude's got a generator over there.
Well, if the noise of the generator didn't bring attention, the lights on in your house would.
Yeah, unless you've got blackout curtains or something like that. Yeah,
very true. But see, I remember. I don't know what the storms were like back in April of 2011, I believe it was, when we had all those tornadoes. Yep. Did you guys have all that come through there?
We did. My My dad's home was hit. There was 17 people in there. My
Wow.
sister, my niece, my brother-in-law, and a host of other people who just didn't have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And we've been through that. And let me tell you what a challenge it is when you're trying to locate your child at Children's Hospital. My sister's child, not mine. Obviously, I don't have any kids. I have dogs. But my sister was in the hospital. My brother-in-law was in a different hospital. My brother-in-law was in a coma for 3 months.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, and he had broke bones, but they couldn't touch his broke bones. They had to wait till the swelling went down in his brain cavity or whatever. So he was hooked to 100 machines. And, at children's hospitals, minors, they don't give out names. They give out ages and whatever. That's it. And that's for their safety. But every piece of identification, birth certificates, IDs, all that stuff was gone. A lot of our stuff was found in Rome, Georgia. Okay. My niece played t-ball, and her jersey was found in Rome, Georgia, and some pictures and stuff.
Ain't that something?
I mean, it's amazing, and the people sent it back. What they found that they could identify as something of ours, they sent it all back. And but yeah, when you have no ID to prove who you are, and you're in the hospital, and my sister was trying to track down where her daughter was, and she's in Children's Hospital, and they don't even give names there. It was a mess, man. And they were, this is going to be hard to talk about. They were children on beds in the hall who they could not find the parents for. They were children injured, like from Birmingham and all that. They were doing surgeries in the hall. The hospitals were so full. Wow. And the children were asking, "Where's mommy? Where's daddy?" And the people working there didn't know if they were alive or not. And that was a tough situation for me. Oh, and yeah. I wasn't even hit by the darn thing. At the time, I was living in town, so my apartment didn't get hit. But I had to come over here and run looters off the property. My mom called me, and my mom and dad are divorced, so they don't talk. But when she called me and said, "Your dad said there's looters on the property, you need to go over and run them off," I loaded up shotgun and came over here. There were people picking up stuff, and they were concerned about my dad, and I appreciate that. And I'm asking them like, "Y'all got to go?" "Well, we're concerned about Roger." I'm like, "Dad's in such and such hospital." I told them where. I said, "His back's injured. He's okay. He's stabilized. Y'all got to go." And they wouldn't leave till I racked that shotgun. When I racked it, they decided they was going to load up and head on out. And wow. It got to the point where I had to rack that shotgun. I'm like, and I picked it up, aimed it at them. Like, "Yes, you see it. Y'all got to go." And they finally loaded up, and finding the property. I couldn't hardly find the property. There were power lines down everywhere. I've got pictures of all this stuff. But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I knew several people that passed away during that. It was just a terrible time. But what I was going to get at on that is, I don't know what it was like in your area, but we were without power for, it seemed like it was a couple of weeks, right at a couple of weeks. Right. I mean, I was having to drive because, I had a business at the time that I was, and I had guys on the road traveling, and just to try to get fuel for, there was no fuel in the areas where I lived. I would have to travel. I want to say we were having to go just across into Tennessee to get fuel. Because none of the gas stations, none of the service stations had power. Yeah. The ones
that's
that
another thing that shuts down when the power goes off. No fuel.
It does. Yep. It does. I mean, even the ones that did have power, they brought. There was Circle K's that brought in some large generators so that they could not keep fuel because they were the only service stations that had power. And so the people, they were having to limit the fuel. And it was just difficult to try to even, so I can't imagine on a larger scale. I mean, if you really consider that this is a small area, but if you multiply that across the country, if there's some type of an event where there's an EMP or something like that that cuts the power completely out, it'll be total chaos. And like you said, the looters, it'll give it a day or two, and you'll start having to deal with people. That's the issues.
The you were talking about being without power. My dad was without shelter. I mean, they didn't have nothing. When Dad got released from the hospital, he came down here, found a table, or no, his brick chimney from his house got blowed over. He slept on the brick chimney, used it as a table, and slept on it. That was nothing. Yeah, and so shortly after that, his insurance company provided them a trailer to sleep in. But yeah, I know for a fact, I've done the research on it. Like these transformers, the gray things that hang off the poles. I know you know what a transformer is.
Oh yeah.
If one of those goes out, they can replace it. If 10 of those goes out, they're done. They only keep about 3 or 4 extra ones per state. So if there's widespread, if 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 or 100 of those transformers go out, it could take up to 3 years because all of them come from China or Korea. That's where they all are made at. They're not made in the United States anymore.
That's ridiculous. It's amazing to me how much that America over the years has exported all of our essentials. You take medications, you take transformers or whatever you're talking about, on our even computer chips, things that the Americans, our culture, the westernized world created and then shipped and exported our ability to have that as we need it. It's just so ridiculous that our government has established things the way that they have.
Yeah, they clearly haven't thought it out at all.
And we're going to suffer through that.
Oh yeah, yeah. But they want us all dead anyway. They want. I know that's going to sound crazy, but the Georgia Guidestones. You remember what was on them? And it's depopulation. We got to depopulate the earth. We're ruining Earth because there's too many people and too many mouths to feed. So that's part of their plan as well, is to depopulate the earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And get me something to drink there.
So who do we still have with us in the chat? Do you know?
I think we might have just ran everybody off. Celtic Grandma. Yeah. Celtic Grandma. It says 6. It says we still got 5 now. So it says we got 5 in the chat. I'm not sure if you're in the chat. Put something in the chat. Let's see who you are. Thank you for hanging out with us. Those of you who could. T-Bird and 007 and a few of them had to leave, and I understand that. And so I think Celtic Grandma's still with us, but other than that, I have no clue.
Yep.
It's a holiday. I get it.
It is a holiday.
It is.
And we're an hour and 15 minutes into this, so having someone stick around with us that long is pretty good anyway.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, we'll take the 5 we got, or the 4 that's dropping off now. Okay. But even if there's nobody in here, just getting a chance to talk to you and just man, I love it.
It's been great.
I'm all about being in a community. A lot of the people, the subscribers to my prepper channel, I call them, I talk to them on the phone. I'm all about community, and it's because without it, you're gonna be screwed without it. You can't sit and wait with a gun. Somebody's got to take a shift and let somebody sleep. You got to have help. The only way we're gonna make it, if this country fails, the only way we're gonna make it is to have each other. And
that's exactly right.
So
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, we got to have each other. So
absolutely.
you can't save the country by yourself.
Nope, absolutely not. Well, all right, Asset. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, I
I
appreciate
think
you having me.
I think it's about time we cut it out. Everybody's left us anyway.
That
But
sounds good.
yeah, but yeah, holler at you later, brother, and appreciate you being on with me, man.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I look forward to the 500 subscriber giveaway.
yeah, me too, man. I hope it's gonna be fun. Hope it's a blast.
Maybe so.
Give away some stuff. I bought some of the padded, what do you call them? The bubble mailers. I bought some of those the other day at Walmart. So I'm getting geared up for the send out stuff. So, awesome.
That's good.
Holler at you later, brother.
Celtic
Oh,
grandmother or Celtic grandma, she's still here with us, so we do appreciate you.
yeah. Thank you, Celtic Grandma. My mods are awesome. The ones I have, awesome. So, y'all have a good one, and I'll end this booger.
That sounds good.
All right, buddy.
All right, have a good one.
You too, bud.